Okay.
Starting. Yeah, started. Huh? Started. Red button is blinking.
Okay. Can you see? Because I didn't multiply with time dot at a time, so because it is rotating, so that is the rotate function is kind of a overload function. Okay, so you can call based on your parameters. Okay, so now see, instead of if you multiply with time dot delta time. Okay, and if you want to rotate in y-axis, okay, you make the x-axis is 0 and y-axis is some value.
Uh,
Okay, see, if you want to rotate in the x-axis, I mean y-axis, you make the x-axis 0 and you assign some values in the y-axis, and in the z-axis, okay, you make it 0. Okay, now control is. Are you guys getting it's rotating in the up direction? So now you can ask, sir, every time, okay, we are going and changing in the editor, I mean in the script. So can we create any option that without going to the script, do we customize, or we can select the options in the Unity editor or something like that? Okay, so that is what the variable is playing a major role in the Unity scripting. Guys, listen. See, this transform dot rotate function taking three parameter: x value, y value, z value. Okay, this is the x value, this is the y value, and this is the z value. Okay, if you are directly assigning the values like this, then this particular programming will be considered as a hardcore programming. Hardcore programming in the sense, okay, every time, okay, you have to be manually change the values like this. But when you guys are working in a bigger project, okay, this kind of coding won't work out there, okay, because you can't figure out how many times or wherever you have used this kind of values in the bigger project. In some places, okay, you might change, in some places, okay, you will be missed out. So because of that, okay, lot of confusion will occur. So in that case, okay, so you have to follow the a soft core programming. Soft core programming in the sense, okay, see, you have to control in one place. Okay, you don't need to keep on changing every places. Kind of a CSS style sheet. Okay, when you guys are designing the HTML page, na, so that time, so we can create a different style sheets, and in that particular style, okay, if you want to change any color or the font, okay, you don't need to change in so many places. Okay, you change only in that particular style sheet, then that will be reflected in so many wherever you have used that kind of a design. Okay, similarly here, the rotation function carries three parameter. The first one is x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Okay, see, this is the x-axis value, and this is the y-axis value, and this is the z-axis value. Are you getting this point? Rotation can happen in three different directions. Okay, either horizontally or vertically or in the z-axis. For that only, okay, they have given three options, either x or y or z. So, but now every time, okay, I'm coming inside the script, I'm changing the value and I'm checking the output in my inspector. So whether we can write any script that we can control through only in editor means yes, we can control. For that only, I am going to declare the variables. Okay, see, public float rotation x value, rotation y value, and rotation z value. Okay, instead of 0, you can mention rotation x. Here it is rotation y. Here it is rotation set. Okay, I have declared the variables float values. I have declared the float values, and these values I'm going to use it in my function. Controllers, go back to the Unity. Now for this cube, I have a script called cube rotation. If you look at the inspector, the variable which I have declared is popped up over here. Can you see this? See, rotation x is 0, rotation y is 0, rotation z is 0. So rather than going and changing every time in the scripting part, okay, here, okay, you can assign. So let me assign the x value is equal to 10, controllers, play,
Oh,
okay. So because I didn't multiply with time dot delta time, na? Into- it's rotating. Even like if you want to change during the runtime, if you follow the previous method, okay, that time it's not possible. Okay, now let's see. Let me go with the focus mode. Can you see? Can you see the value which is getting updated? Can you see? So when you want to check anything, you can go with this kind of option. Okay, you just declare a variables, use that variable inside the script, and you don't need to go again and again to change the values in the script, because you will get all the access in here in the editor itself. So during the runtime also, okay, you can adjust and you can figure it out. Is it fine? See, if you don't want, see, during the runtime itself, I don't want to rotate in the x-axis, assign this is 0. You make this as 45. See, and you make this as 0. So in some angle, if it is already rotated and in that position it is stopped, and if you assign some value here 30, it will rotate only in the z-axis. Are you guys getting? So you should know to declare the variable, and you can change in the editor mode and you can verify. So this is a okay, you can fine tune and you will get the exact value. Okay, so this much speed is fine, or this much rotation is okay, like that. Okay, so now you guys know how to rotate the script, right? See, I have declared a float variable. Here, if it is a public, suppose I don't want to show these values in my editor. Okay, these are all kind of secrets. Okay, because I want to implement the access rights, public, private. Okay, because I don't want to show this kind of values inside my to the user. Means, okay, if you change this public value as private, then here, okay, it won't show in the inspector. Why? Because public means, okay, that everybody can see and everybody can change. That is what the meaning of public access right. But now I have changed that access right as a private. So because of that, okay, I can't see it over here. Okay, even like, sir, if it is a private, then what is the point of declaring the variable? Then again, we have to go and initialize here only, like rotation x, which is equal to 10.0f or something like that. So this is okay. We have to edit the private variable, but in Unity we have one concept called serialized field. In Unity we have one concept called serialized field. Guys, listen, even though this is a private variable, but still if I want to see in the editor mode only during the runtime, on the editing time, not in the runtime. So in that case, here you can use this particular keyword called serialized field. What this serialized field will make is, okay, it will break the a basic concept of the private variable or the private access, right? Okay, and it will allow you to show only in the inspector. Can you see here? If you want to give the full freedom for all the users, means okay, you can go with the public variable. Else, I just want to see in my editing mode during the development time, means okay, you can go with the serialized field and you can assign the values. Are you guys getting? Yes.
Serialized only in runtime you will be able
Yes,
to
sir.
see.
Only, yes, only in the editing time, development.
So if we give it public, then anybody can edit it.
Anybody can access it during the runtime also. That is
And
it.
okay, okay, and okay. So what's the case? Because that time we were talking about that.
Are you guys getting how to integrate programming and with editor? Any doubts? Any doubts? Online
Gayatri,
No,
users?
sir.
is it clear?
No, sir. It's clear.
Okay. See, now you guys know how to rotate the game object. Okay, the third functionality is if I want to enlarge the object size. If I want to enlarge the object size, so for this cube, I'm just removing the rotation script. So in the inspector, okay, if you just click uncheck, then this script won't apply for this particular cube. So the script won't get executed. Instead, okay, I want to add one more new script to expand the size of the cube. Okay, so for that, assets, right click, create a new script, cube enlarger or something, size. I have created a new script called cube enlarger. Then here the syntax will slightly change. Here the syntax will slightly change like transform dot local scale. Local scale indicates the original size of that particular object. If I attach this script to that cube, and if that cube, what value if it carries in the inspector, okay, so it will access this value. It indicates this particular value 111. Transform dot local scale means okay, it will access this particular value. Okay, so now I want to enlarge that cube. So what I'm going to do is, okay, transform dot local scale plus equal to, I'm going to add a new value along with the previous value, and everything is a three coordinate system. Even the size also can be accessed in three different axes. Okay, so here let me declare new vector 3. Vector 3 has a three parameter like x, y, z. So if you want to expand your object in horizontal mode, means okay, you can give the values here only in the x-axis like 0.01 f, and if you don't want in the y-axis and z-axis, okay, you can assign 0 comma 0. Transform dot local scale plus equal to new vector 3 0.01 f, like that I have given only in the x parameter place, and the y parameter and the z parameter I just made it 0. Why? Because I want to make my cube to be only expand in the horizontal mode. Okay, now control S. Now, so the orange color cube, this is the orange color cube, right? For this, let me attach the new script called cube enlarger. controllers. Can you see? The cube is expanding only in the x-axis. Suppose I don't want in the x-axis, I want to expand in y-axis means you made 0 in the x parameter place, and in the y parameter place, okay, you assign some value. In the z parameter, it is again 0. In this case, it will expand only in the vertical mode. Okay? And if you want in the z-axis, okay, you can change the z value. No, I want in all the three directions. Okay, I want to make my object to gradually increase in all the three directions. Okay, I don't want to see kind of a stretch like this. I want the object to be expand in all the three directions together means you give the same value here. Okay, in the x-axis 0.01f, in the y-axis 0.01f, in the z-axis 0.01f. Okay, controllers. Now, can you see this? It's expanding. Okay, it is there. It's expanding. So then, how to control in certain point? How to control in certain point means before expanding here. Okay, you can put the condition that if transform dot local scale dot x value is less than 2.0 f. I'm expanding in all the three directions together, so I don't need to check the condition in all the three directions. Okay, I can check in only one place. Okay, so I want to expand till 2 meter in all the three directions. So only one condition is more than enough till it reaches 2.0. By that time, okay, this code will work. If it crosses this boundary, then this line won't work. Okay, controllers. That's it. Yes.
What is the command? Okay, okay.
See, for remembering this data type and this syntax keywords will take some time. But apart from that, okay, this is similarly like a normal programming only. Okay, only the data might be different, but all the logics, the conditions of everything is similar. Is it clear? Any doubts for the online users? Can you able to execute this in your side?
No doubts. Yes.
Okay, so now whatever we have manipulating manually, all those functions, okay, we have done it through the scripting part. Now the next topic is if the object is keep on moving or if the object is keep on rotating. Okay, this is for some cases, not in always. In a particular game or in a particular application, okay, some object supposed to move from one place to another place and some object has to rotate, like a fan has to rotate continuously. So in that case, okay, I can go with this kind of concepts. But mainly because we have one main character called player, especially in the game application. Okay, player, we have a main, he is a main character. Then we should know, okay, how to control that player, because he should not take a call like this until I press the arrow button or until I press the move key or the w key. Okay, he is not supposed to move. Okay, he will be always waiting for the boss. Okay, boss is the things, okay, the players. Yes or no, are you guys getting? Now all the functionalities are happening just like that. There is no condition. Okay, I don't have any control to control these objects. But this kind of scenario is okay for a couple of places. But mainly in all the applications, okay, we have one major character or a main character called player. So we should know, okay, how to control that player, okay, because he will be keep on listening us, okay, what we are instructing through the keyboard or through the mouse. Based on that only, okay, he will behave inside the game. So if I press W key, then if I would have written the code of running means, okay, then only, okay, he will run. If I remove it, okay, he will just stand. Similarly, rotation, shooting, fighting, attacking, grabbing, taking and moving, everything has to be controlled by player like us. Okay, so now we will see, okay, how to give the controls or how to pass the controls to control the player. So that is what we are calling as a input system. Now we are working in the laptop or PC. Here we have a input devices like keyboard, mouse. Okay, so through these devices we can send the signals to the player. Based on that signal, okay, he will perform some action. So that is what we are going to look at now. Okay, controllers, file, new scene, create controllers, save the scene as experiment 5. Let me add a player cube, rename this cube as a player, rename as player, controllers. Now in the normal software application, all the functionalities are even based in the sense, okay, if you want to log in inside the Gmail, first you have to enter your username, then you have to enter your password, then the next you have to click the sign in button, then only, okay, the validation will happen, then the everything will happen in the background, then only, okay, you can able to see your home page. So until you press some button, the login function won't happen. Similarly, everywhere, if you want to transfer the money to someone else, first you have to choose the sender, receiver, or the whom you want to transfer. Then you have to enter their details. Then you have to enter the amount. Then you have to click the send button. Then in the background, okay, the other calculations and all will happen. Whether you have a sufficient balance or not. Then if you have a sufficient balance, okay, the amount will be transferred to someone else. So here, the normal software development, okay, everything is even based. In gaming, in some places, okay, it is kind of a even based, especially when you guys are interacting in the menu pages like start button, exit button, settings, panel, I mean adjustment. Those are all the event based. But in some places, like when you are playing a racing game, kind of a NFS, that you can compare with your real world. When you guys are riding the bike, how are you giving the accelerometer? How are you giving the speed? If you want to go more speed, you are slowly controlling the accelerometer and you are changing the gear. Okay, you are slowly increasing the speed based on the angle you rotated. Okay, that speed is applying and the vehicle is moving. Okay, you are not rotating like this. So you are holding and rotating gradually. So based on that rotation, the speed is calculated and it is applying to the vehicle. Similarly, when you are playing a racing game, okay, you have a buttons, right? Accelerometer button, brake button, and all. So the button, okay, you are not just tapping, okay, you are just pressing and holding that button. Immediately, the speed is calculating. So in some places, okay, you have to be press and release once, then only the event will be called. Functions will be called. In some places, okay, you don't need to keep on press and release, okay, you have to be press and hold the key. Are you getting the two different type of inputs in the gaming? So now we are going to implement that concept now. Okay. So let me create a new script called input controller. Assets, right click, create a new C# script called input controller. Controllers, Now, if you want to write such kind of a logic, where will you write? In the start function or update function? Update function or start function? See, obviously we have to write it update function only. Why? Because after the first frame, the scope of the start function is out of memory. Okay, I don't have any control to execute those codes. But if you are playing today and if you forget to close the game and after 2 months, okay, if you check in the background, okay, the game is still waiting for you to give the input. That means the code should have written inside the update function, not in the start function. Are you getting? So now inside the update function, everything is a condition based. Everything is a condition based, right? So here, if we have a class called input dot, I am going to interact with my keyboard. Okay, so here we have a syntax like get key down. Get key down means I have to press and release the key once, then only this particular syntax will work. Get key down once, then only this syntax will work. Which key you are going to interact, that you have to give inside the parameter, like again key code dot w. All the letters are in the capital only. Okay, you don't need to give a small letter because that is the syntax. Okay, if you press key code dot means, okay, you will get all the key codes whichever is available inside your keyboard. Okay, if at all if you are going to press and release the w key once, what should happen, that you will write it in the next line. Okay, let me print like debug.log w key is pressed. Now one more way, input dot get key. See, get key down means, okay, you have to be press and release the button key button once. Get key means, okay, you don't need to press and release. Okay, you can press and hold the key. You can press and hold the key. Okay, so now debug.log kindly remember get key down and get key and which key you are mapping. That's it. Controllers. Done. Are you guys getting? Input dot get key down and input dot get key.
Get key will do what?
Get key means, okay, you just press and hold the key. That's it.
Okay.
You don't need to release. Okay, you just press and hold just like that. Automatically, the logic which you are
If I
writing down,
release then
then that's it. It will, the scope is over. That's it. Now, now if I want to execute the script, then let me attach the input controller script to my player. Let me attach the input controller script to the player. Controllers, play the game. And how to check the input or how to check the output? We have to press the key. Like, let me press the W key and I'm just holding. And if you click this particular statement, it is executed only once, right? Again, okay, let me click my mouse inside the game window. Can you see how I'm interacting? I'm tapping the W key. Tap, 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 tap. Then only the count will get increased. Can you see? I pressed my W key 21 times. Now, is it happening? Now W key is a get key down option. So now I'm going to hold the yes key. Just guys listen. I'm just pressing the yes key and holding. Can you see? I don't need to keep on press and release. Okay, you just press and release. Okay, it is keep on executing. So this is what the difference between get key down and get key. You are getting right. What is the point of discussing these two now? Okay, see, suppose if you want to make your player to move step by step, like instead of this debug, you want to make your cube to move, transform dot translate vector 3 dot right into 2.0. Guys, listen. Under the get key down, okay, I want to make my cube to move to the right side. Okay, transform dot translate vector 3 dot right into 2.0. Okay, let me copy the same code under the yes key because I want to show the difference. Okay, what how the when you are interacting with the W key with this particular method, okay, how the object is moving. When you are interacting get key method with the yes key, okay, how the object are moving like that. In both the places, okay, I have written the same logic. Okay, 2.0 and 2.0. Yes, controllers. Let me execute. Guys, listen. I'm going to press my W key. Can you see? Step by step, okay, it will execute. Because if I press only once and if I holding also, it won't move continuously. It will move only once. Okay, again, I have to press once again for the next step. But now listen, I'm going to interact with the yes key and keep on pressing. So you can compare the values also. See in the x-axis. Can you see? So if you multiply this with, see, let me press W key. It will move very slowly. Can you see? I'm tapping the W key. But if I press the S key and hold, so in one place, if you want to move suddenly to some point, you can go with the get key down and you can assign that particular value. Else, okay, I want to move smoothly means, okay, you can go with the get key down with the less value. See, basically in the subway surf, we have only three lanes: middle lane, right lane, left lane. So in that place, which kind of a method, okay, will you follow? Get key down, okay, you have to suddenly go to that place. Okay, you don't want to smoothly move because there are only three lanes. Right swipe, immediately change the position there. Left swipe, immediately move into that position. Okay, because you don't need to slowly move. Means that logic won't work. Which logic? The get key logic won't work in this place. Suppose when you guys are making a racing game or you want to control the vehicle, so that time, okay, you don't need to go with the get key down. You have to press the accelerometer and hold it like this. Okay, you can apply the speed. Okay, are you guys getting the difference between two different type of inputs? Now using this concept, we can control our player. This is a, okay, you have to give the inputs to control the object. Now I want to control my player. Like how? If input dot get key code dot right arrow, then are you guys getting? Now these two syntax, okay, you just commented, okay, this is for the understanding purpose. Right arrow right side, left arrow left side, up arrow up, down arrow down. Here I have given like if, else if, else if. Only one condition only will get execute. In this case, if I go with else if, only one particular condition only will get execute. Okay, control S. Let me show the output. See, yes. Suppose I want to move diagonally. I want to move up and at the same time I want to move right side. So in that case, okay, you don't go with else if, you go with only else. You increase the speed also like 5. See here in the 4 places, okay, I'm changing the value. So instead, I can declare one value like float speed, speed which is equal to 5.0f. Then this variable, I can use it over. So if I want to assign into some other value, I don't need to replace in 4 different places. I can replace only in the control Z. Now listen. See? Can you see diagonally it's moving? Yes. You want to execute only one particular condition means go with else if. Else, if you want to control 2 different keys together means okay, you can go with only if. Is it clear? Controls.
This is fine.
What's that? We command the W and
No,
S
no.
key. No?
How do I comment this multi-line?
Huh.
Is it a multi-line
See,
comment?
if you want to command multi-line, see, either you select all the lines together. Here, okay, you can see the command line. Can you see this? Just click this. This is one way. Control Z. Are else,
Control key.
see here before slash star like this, you can command. That's it. Okay. But don't command this one. Third person. So this is the program. Is it happening?
The previous one. This is W and S thing, okay.
Hmm.
So when W is S, we are moving right by two, and this thing has moving right by two, and this is registered.
So the input control register.
The computer is there, no? So I run this, we just sit here and
Not to put the brackets by condition. So it's not like, for example, indentation is not there, so you have to put brackets for everything. So if there is multiple number of condition means you have to add
See,
brackets.
after if condition, you are putting the bracket. Then whatever you have written inside that bracket, okay, all those lines will get executed. But now you didn't write the bracket. In this case, only the first line will get execute. The second line will automatically execute.
okay. Okay, so I have to put a bracket here.
Yes. So you keep both the lines in the like this.
Also, it's not like Python. So this is C++ based. Like this.
Yes. Now it runs. Press yes, then
See.
press and hold. One, one time only. Waiting. Done. Shall we go to the next topic? Any
That's
doubts?
right.
Okay. You are getting the intelligence, right? Huh. You press tab, automatically that syntax will come. Don't try to type the whole syntax. Okay. If you know the syntax means you press tab, tab, tab like that. Okay. You will automatically get it. Huh.
So speed where your define speed is a defining before or where,
Float variable, then I have assigned the value. Okay. This
before
is a
start in public, right? Within the
private.
function.
Private. Public means in the script, in the inspector you can assign.
No, the float you are defining other in under this class. No?
We enter the class.
Ah.
Get key by default, all the keys are in the upstate. Suppose,
You're not using else if now. You're only using if.
only if. See, I'm pressing the Q key. The down it won't work. When I release it will work. So if you want to go with the mouse, then it is input dot get mouse button down 0 1. Get mouse button down 0 and 1. If you want to control your player with the mouse, then you can go with get mouse button down 0 or get mouse button 0. That's it. Now I hope you are understanding the difference between get key down and get key right. See, in some cases you have to go with the get key down. In some places you have to go with the get key option. So now the next concept. The next concept is a collision. See, you guys know how to add a game object, how to create a script, and how to control the player. The next concept is okay, you should know to implement the collision part. Why? Because collision is the function, okay, it will define the whole game logic. Okay, collision means okay, when two objects are trying to intersect between each other, or two objects are trying to meet each other, in that case the collision function will occur. Okay, two objects are trying to intersect with each other or trying to meet each other, that time the collision function will occur. Okay, so for in this condition, I can decide or I can write the remaining logic like if the bullet collides with the enemy body, then he is supposed to die. If the same bullet collides with me, then I have to lose my life or I have to die. The Subway Surf game, okay, the player character, okay, he is keep on running. If he collides with the coin, he's not literally picking the coin, he is just colliding. That's it. Randomly, okay, the body will be colliding in some places. If the player body collides with the coin is supposed to get disappear. Your score value is supposed to get increase. Similarly, okay, if you're colliding with the barricade, then you have to lose your life. So in everywhere, collision function is playing a major role. Without the collision, okay, we can't write the majority of game logics. Okay, so now we will see how to find a collision. So basically, for implementing the collision, you have to follow certain constraints. You have to follow certain constraints. Guys, listen. See, I have a player. This is a default cube which I have added through my Unity. Okay, this is a player. And if you look at the player in the inspector, you can find one component called box collider. Can you see this? Can you see this box collider? So basically, box collider is a component. Here, my cube is looking like a box, so that is why the Unity has intelligence, okay, and which is attaching a box collider to this particular cube. I have added a cube and I renamed it as a player. And this particular cube is looking like a box, so the Unity is added a box collider by default that I didn't attach. So now, what is this collider? This is a component This component will be a topmost layer which will be created on top of the object. Okay, guys, can you see? If you look at the player cube very close up mode, can you see one small green color line which is formed? That is the collider component. See, if you disable this, it will go. If you enable this, you can see the green color line. A small green color line. You can look at in the close up mode. Can you see this? In the inspector, okay, if you disable this, it will go. It will switch off. It will on. What is the use of this collider? To find whether I am crossing other object boundary or some other object is crossing my boundary. To figure out, okay, I need a collider like this. Can you see this? So this is a default component for the cube box collider. Can you see this? Okay, now let me create one more sphere. Now the sphere is looking like a ball. So in Unity, okay, we don't have any concept called ball collider. Okay, that they are treating as a sphere collider only. Can you see in the inspector sphere collider? So the green color wave is created on top of the sphere. Can you see this? See this? See this line only is a collider. Now, whenever okay you are adding any object through Unity, those objects will come by some any one of the default colliders based on the shape. Cube is looking like a box, so box collider has come. Now for the sphere collider. Similarly, okay, if you add some other object, okay, that object also has some respective colliders like capsule, cylinder, all those things. Okay, now so this particular component is deciding the edge, the last edge of that particular object. Okay, if somebody crosses that particular edge, then I have to show that somebody is interfering in my area. Or if you are colliding with some other object, that time also okay, we need a collider. Okay, so for finding a collision, the first parameter is both the objects should carry a collider. Without the collider, okay, I can't figure out whether I'm crossing the boundary of that object or that object is crossing my boundary or something like that. So collider is very, very important. Are you guys getting? Now, between these two objects, between these two objects, the moving object should carry a rigid body. Yesterday in the second half, we have attached the rigid body to our sphere. So because of that, the angular drag, gravity, all those features are applied. So the ball is falling down. Yes or no? And it was rolling. Now, if you want to find a collision between two objects, you need a collider component. Along with that, between these two objects, the moving object should carry a collider. In some cases, okay, both the object will be, they will attach the collider. So Unity won't throw any error. Okay, fine. If you want to attach a rigid body, okay, you can attach a rigid body. If you make every object to be as a real world object means not an issue. Okay, you can attach it. Okay, you can use it. But Unity won't say anything. But why I'm preferring to attach rigid body only to the moving object? Because rigid body is one of the costliest component. You can't just use it like this. Okay, you can't use just like that. Why? Because once you add a rigid body, then the all the object will start behave like a real world object. Okay, the physics will be enabled. So if you simply add a rigid body to the door, wall, ceiling, chair, it is not necessary. Why I need a rigid body to all these objects? Because these are all the static objects. These are all the non-live objects. Human like us, enemies, for those objects, okay, you can add a rigid body. Why? Because I am the one, okay, who is going to interact with the chair or table. Okay, those objects are not interacting with me. So in that case, you have to figure out the important objects like a humans or the enemy. For those objects, okay, you can attach a rigid body. So you don't need to randomly attach rigid body to all the game objects. Unity will never say that no, you are doing the wrong thing. But when you are going to the optimization wise, That time if the game is starting lagging, means okay, we have to keep monitor what is happening in the game. So that time, okay, the rigid body curve will go like this. Then you have to check, okay, why the rigid body curve is going, means okay, you would have attached the rigid body component to all the game objects. So majority of the CPU time has to allocate for calculating only the physics for your game, not for executing the game. Are you guys getting? Okay, so now let me keep this sphere. I have a player object. So let me attach my rigid body to the player. Okay, let me attach this sphere. Let me rename this as a coin. Let me rename this as a coin, and this is my player. So now for this player, I have to attach a component called rigid body, like component physics rigid body. Attach it only once. Don't attach it more than once. How to confirm? In the inspector, you can scroll down and you can confirm how many times the rigid body component is attached. If you attach more than once, okay, you can keep only once, and the remaining you can remove it. Okay, you can remove it like this. Remove component. Now is this done? Player has a collider and rigid body, and the sphere I have renamed it as a coin, and it has only the collider. Is it done? Online users?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now after attaching the rigid body, the player cube is moving down. The play, because of the gravity, it is moving down. And I have given one suggestion yesterday. After attaching the rigid body also, if you don't want this particular feature, then you can uncheck the gravity. I don't want the gravity to be applied for my cube. All the remaining physics, okay, let it apply, but I don't want the gravity option. Okay, so in the inspector, in the rigid body, okay, you can uncheck the gravity feature. Now if you play, the cube won't go down, and I have given the right arrow function. Guys, listen, can you see? But previously, like, let me remove the rigid body. Without the rigid body, it will pass through. Before attaching the rigid body, okay, the cube is passing through the sphere, but now after attaching the rigid body, it won't allow you to pass through. Can you see this? Because collision is occurring. And why it is keep on going and hitting? Because I'm keep on making the cube to move right, right, right. So he is getting. And once you leave, some force is applied, a small drag happened, so that is why my player cube is just randomly moving. It is collapsed. Then how to freeze this thing? Okay, I don't want to make my player to just collapse like this. I want to make him to be steady always. So in that case, select the player in the inspector. You can find one option called constraints. Just to open that constraint, okay, we have an option called freeze position, that you can freeze it. That you can freeze it. Controllers. See, he won't bounce back. He won't just randomly rotate and move. Okay, he will be always steady. Can you see this? Let me show you. Player, the rigid body. We have a constraints. Open the constraints. Freeze rotation, not position. Freeze rotation. Okay, you can freeze it like this. Is this done? Okay, now, okay, fine. Two objects are trying to intersect with each other, or moving, or trying to meet each other, but because of this collision, it is not allowing to pass through between each other. So in that case, what should happen? Okay, see, I have a player and I have a coin. So now if a player meets the coin, I want to make the coin to get disappear. That is what the logic, right? See, here is a player and here is a coin. If I collide with the coin, then I want to make my coin to get disappear. Means then only okay, I can feel that okay, I'm collecting the coins. Yes. Then for this you have to write the code. I have set up everything in the editor mode. Collision will work. But if collision happens, okay, what should happen? That I have to write it in the program. Okay, I can't do anything over here. Okay, so this is my input controller script. The update function is opening here and it got closed over here. Yes, this is the closing brace for my update function. After that, now I'm going to use the Unity default collider function. Unity default collider function, like how public void on collision enter. This is a Unity default function. This is not my user defined function. This function is there inside the Unity. Void on collision enter, and that function carries a parameter called collision data type. Okay, this is a data type and this is a variable name. On collision enter is a function which carries one parameter. That parameter data type is a collision one. That parameter data type is a collision one. Guys, done? Now let me print whether this function is working or not. This function will work only when this object is trying to intersect with some other object which has a collider, then this function will get executed. When when this function will get executed, this function I have written inside the input controller. That input controller I have attached into my player. So if the player cube is trying to intersect or cross the boundary of any other object, that time this function will get executed. Are you guys getting? Okay, now controllers. Guys, can you see here? Collision is detected. Yes, now the function is getting executed. Instead of the debug, what I want is I want to destroy what? The cube, not cube, the coin. How to figure out the coin? That is what they have given this particular parameter. See, collision is happening, but during the collision, if I want to write the logic means, okay, I want to know with whom I'm colliding with, right? Without knowing the opponent, okay, I can't write my own logic. Okay, somewhere, okay, I need to find out the opponent. So this is the parameter, okay, which is using to figure out the opponent character. Collision. So here, destroy collision dot game object. Collision dot game object means whenever the player is trying to cross the boundary of some other object, I need to destroy the opponent. That is what this code is meaning. Is it done? Controllers. Done? See? Is it happening? Similarly, okay, you can duplicate n number of coins. Control D. Control D. Yes, listen now. Then, are you getting? How many of you have verified this? Any online users?
For one object, I verified it is destroying.
You just duplicate the same object, ma'am, and you just try
Yes.
to. See now, now I have added a new sphere. I have renamed this as enemy, and I have two enemies in my scene. See now I have a enemy. Now I have a enemy. So now if the player collides with the enemy sphere, then I have to make my player to get destroyed. Like if you lose your life, then you're supposed to die. Okay, so instead of making the opponent to disappear, okay, I will make my player object to disappear. Okay, so here I didn't write any condition, but when you are going to collide with many objects, okay, which has a different nature, in that case, okay, you have to go with the condition. Okay, you can't go with only the this particular way. See, in my first case, okay, the situation is different. Okay, I have only the coins everywhere inside my game, so I can only collect it. But now I have added a red spear and I have treated as my enemy. So if my player collides with that enemy, then I supposed to delete my player, right? So here, before going to execute this particular line, I have to add a condition. Condition what? As I said, this parameter which is helping me to identify the opponent with whom I'm colliding with. So if collision dot game object dot name, I can compare with the name of the object. I can check, okay, what is his name? Based on that, okay, I can take a call. So if it is a coin, let me destroy the coin object. Else if enemy, then destroy this dot game object. This indicates this particular script, okay, I'm attaching into my player, so the player object will get destroyed. If it is a coin, then destroy the coin object. Else if it is an enemy, then destroy the player object. Here this indicates the player. Means this script I have attached it into my player cube, right? So that cube will get destroyed. Okay, this means, okay, it won't automatically indicate the player object. I'm using this script to the player, so here that this indicates the player object. Is it fine? And here, okay, you have to notice one thing, that okay, I'm comparing the name of the object. Okay, the name should be always like coin for all the coin objects and enemy for all the enemy objects. But if you look at the inspector, the names are different. Okay, the first one is the coin, the second one is coin space bracket 1 coin space bracket 2. In this case, only this coin will get be condition satisfied. Okay, the remaining coins condition won't be satisfied. So select all the coins together, and in the inspector, okay, you can change the name like this, coin. And even, okay, you can select the enemy and you can change the name. Now you select, see, I'm going to collide with this, player is gone. Suppose gone. Okay, so here we are comparing the string, so the name should be same as it is like what I have given inside the double quotes. Is it clear? Is it clear, online users? I hope you are also implementing side by side parallelly, I guess, right?
Are you adding this like rigid body?
Only for players, sir, Rigidbody.
Need for here.
Yeah, only for the players. See.
Where is the player? Okay. Which player? How do I convert?
Rigid body. What is? See, component. This is rigid.
If I want to remove this color, how do I do it?
Which you want to apply some other
No, I
color?
want to remove it.
You want to remove the color. Huh? See here. You have the material, right?
Hmm.
Here, okay, you can select none. Click that dot. Select none. Scroll down. None last. On top. Not see. Came. Okay.
How is this
Doesn't
thing?
have material. You want the default one? Select it. Select it. The material. You can find the default material. Just do something. Click the plus symbol. Now click that dot. Click that dot. You decide which material you want. You want the gray one. So select that one. Yes. Yes. That one only. Yes. Came. See here. Error in the code. You didn't complete the code. See the code is case sensitive.
Cannot increase the convert type string to bool. Where is the boolean? This is also line number.
Double click. Yes. 4130. Just 41. Equal to equal to. And then collision does not exist. Double click. 4328. Double click. 43. Game object O caps.
Or this thing is very specific. Falling down.
You disable the gravity. No? See for the player object in the rigid body component, you rigid body. Disable the gravity. Remove that. Remove the gravity. Use gravity. Use gravity. Remove.
So if I
Guys, how many of you have implemented till this online users? I hope all of you have done right. No doubts in this. Yes.
how do I move? I forgot.
Which key you mapped? Arrow key or which key? Any doubts?
Arrow key only, no? This thing only.
No,
No.
sir.
Press no? Controllers.
No. I have to move it to player.
Where is the player?
So I have to
You have to attach this to play.
which this script.
No.
No.
Select the second inspector. Scroll down.
This one.
Scroll down. That right. No script. Attach that script. Leave it. Yes.
Okay.
See now here I have placed only some around 10 coins. Suppose if you are making any endless survival game, you can't predict how many or how much time okay the player is going to play the game.
Why
Okay.
is that player moving like this?
It is collapsed. Okay, so you can freeze the rotations.
Huh?
Stop that.
Automatically it will start.
Yes, yes. No, no, we got to freeze that thing. Go to the rigid body, select the player, player. In the rigid body, you have constraints, right? Constraints, open that. Freeze the rotation. No, no, not the position, rotation.
Automatically it will rotate.
Ah. See, now I have kept only 10 coins in my scene. Suppose when you are making an endless survival game, that time we can't predict how many coins the player is going to collect. Okay, based on that his skill set, he can, somebody can play half an hour, somebody can play 1 hour, because if they want to get more score, means high score, then they will play much time. Okay, so in that case, I don't know how many coins which I'm going to keep it. The coin supposed to appear during the runtime randomly. I can't show all the 1,000 coins or 10,000 coins or 2,000 coins at a time. Why? Because based on the player performance, okay, I can make the coin to appear in the screen. In that case, okay, I can't go with this particular method. Okay, here now I have duplicated around 10 times and I have placed it. But suppose if I want to make this kind of endless game, okay, as per my performance, okay, the coin will keep on appear, especially in the subway surf. Okay, if you play 10 minutes, okay, you would have collected around 1 lakh coins. Okay, if you have played half an hour means, okay, some 30 lakh coins so you would have collected. Like that, the coin supposed to appear during the runtime. So in that case, okay, you have to understand one concept called prefab. Okay, you have to understand one concept called prefab. The object which you are going to use during the runtime repeatedly, those kind of objects and all should be in the form of prefab. Okay, so now in this scene, okay, I have used coin object multiple times. Even though, okay, this is not only coins which I'm going to use throughout the game, okay, I can appear many coins as per the player performance. So in that case, how to go with this? Okay, that time, okay, you should be aware about the concept called prefab. Okay, so like I have a coin, and here the inspector, okay, the name is coin which has a collider. Okay, only this much is enough for the coin object. Okay, not more than nothing much. Okay, only this much is enough. Then I was saying some keyword called prefab. Then what is that? So basically, this is a normal game object. Why? Because the font is still in white color. Then how to make as a prefab? See guys, let me drag this coin and drop it inside my assets folder like this. Immediately the color will get changed into blue. Okay, so this is the first shortcut to identify the prefab object. If any object which is looking blue in color, then that is a prefab. And how to make a prefab? First, you have to add in the scene, and you add all the features, functionalities, components, scripts, everything. At last, okay, you have to drag and drop inside the assets folder. Then immediately inside the project, okay, you will get one template. Also in the scene window, okay, the color of this object will be changed. Okay, so this is the indication for prefab object. Now suppose I deleted all the coins. I don't have any coins. So I don't need to again start it work from the scratch, like adding the sphere, applying the color. I have already made that coin as a prefab here. So this I can drag and drop like this. And now you can duplicate this. Can you see this? Yes or no? Means you have to decide if any game object, okay, which you are going to use repeatedly in the scene or during the runtime, those objects and all should be in the form of prefab. Especially when you are designing a big environment, okay, you have to place many buildings, right? Yes or no? Many buildings, many trees, many chairs. Okay, even if you want to design this lab, okay, see the chairs are, you have kept around some 30 chairs. Okay, we have a tables, we have a 30 different monitors, switches, like that. So if you use as a prefab method, even according to the memory wise also, you can achieve the optimization. Okay, and if it is a prefab, then only, okay, you can instantiate or you can use it in the runtime. Okay, runtime in the sense, now I have drag and dropped now from the project window to the scene window. So the same process, okay, I can do it through the coding also. I can make the kinds to appear during the runtime, one by one, one by one, one by one, like that. Are you guys getting? See now, We are just in the beginning stage. Okay, you just remember that prefab is a concept. The concept can be implemented for the object, okay, which is going to use repeatedly inside our game. How to figure out the game prefab? You just look at the color of the game object. If it is in blue color, then that is a prefab. Is it fine? Is it fine? Yeah. Taking any break for gardening? 5 minutes. Okay.
No.
If anybody go for a short break, okay, you can go and come. 5 minutes. We can continue by 12:30. If anybody who wants to go for a short break, okay, you can go and come. So now I have converted my enemy as a prefab. So let me duplicate this, use it. And now one more thing is that I have made this as a prefab and I have duplicated and it is used in many places, even though the name is not coming in one particular thing. Okay, it is keep on coming along with the suffix like 1 2, but inside the script I have compared only the name. I'm just checking with the name. So even though if it is a prefab, but if it is instantiating during the runtime, okay, if it has coming around some 100 different names, then here, okay, I can go with 100 different conditions using R, kind 1 or kind 2 or kind 3 like that. So we have to go with one more concept. Okay, so basically in Unity, we have one concept called tag. We have a concept called tag. Okay, see, whoever is studying under this institutions, okay, all of them are students. Students are students. All the professors are the teaching faculties, non-teaching faculties like that. Okay, we can assign certain tag. Okay, so now all the kinds are looking similar in color, similar in feature, similar in nature. So I don't need to go with a different name. Let it be. But even in the inspector, I can assign or I can group it under a single tag or a common tag. Like how? Select any specific coin, go to the inspector. Here you can find the tag, okay, which is untagged. You just click this drop down, and here, okay, you can find an option for adding the new tag. Just click this. The list is empty. The list is empty. You just click this plus symbol here. Let me give a tag called coin or C capital O C A C Y N, anything. Save. Even I have one more object, okay, which I have to treat it as enemy. For them also I'm assigning the new tag. Click the plus symbol. Here let me add a one more new tag called enemy. Like that, okay, you have to create a tag. After creating the tag, now you select all these coin prefabs together. Then you can change the tag as coin. Now name wise the string is different, but if you check the tag, everywhere it is same. And now suppose if it is not the prefab, but if you are using in 100 and 1000 coins in your scene, okay, you have to select all the coins, then you have to manually change the tag if it is a normal game object. But now this coin is a prefab, so you select only one game object. See, now I didn't assign any tag. Okay, first you select any one particular prefab. In the inspector we have a tag, right? You just change the tag only for this particular game object. After that, below you can find one option called overrides. Below you can find one option called overrides. Just click this option and click apply all. Means wherever, okay, you have used this coin prefab inside the scene, also inside the project, everywhere, okay, this changes will be overridden. That is what the feature of prefab also. See, now you select this coin. Here also it is the tag is coin, and you just check inside the project. Here also the tag is coin. Can you see this? So these kind of things can be only achieved if the object is in the form of prefab. If it is a normal game object, okay, you have to manually change in everywhere. And suppose, okay, if you forget, then again, okay, so you have to figure out, okay, it will take more time to replace. Now, are you getting the idea of tagging? Even like for the enemy, let me change into only one game object. After that, click override and apply all. So in the remaining objects also, the tag is changed. Even inside the project window also, the tag is changed. Yes. So when you are following this particular approach, then you have to slightly do the changes in the coding. Instead of comparing with the name, you can go with tag. Instead of comparing with the name, you can go with tag. Okay. Now you have 10 different kinds. All the 10 different kinds has a different name, but compared to the tag, it's same.
So their K is capital, but in there is
I have to change
we
that.
need to change that.
Yes.
It is case sensitive.
Kind. eh, Done.
Can you please like repeat again regarding the cake?
See the tag I have assigned is a capital letter COIN capital letter. But here, okay, we are just comparing only the string, right? Okay, even previously we were compared with the name, and that time, okay, the name I have mentioned as capital C and small OIAN. But now I'm comparing with the tag. So here my tag is capital C, capital O, capital I, and capital N. That is how I have given my tag. Okay, then only this condition will work. If okay, here you are giving something else, and there if you have given something else, then because of the uppercase and lowercase, okay, the script won't match as it is. The string, when you are comparing, especially a string, uppercase, lowercase, letters, okay, everything should get match as it is. Then only the string will get validate. Okay, else it won't get validate. Okay.
No, no. How do I assign cake and how is this override and what is the use of cake?
Which one, sir?
Cake. So I have used cake as coin, right?
Okay.
And how do I apply it everywhere?
There you have override options.
Then
Click apply.
you reply to.
Yes. In reply to this prefab.
Okay. So what do I do? Do I
The
delete
remaining
it?
objects and all is not a prefab in your case. Okay, you remove all the kinds. Okay, everywhere. Okay, you have to use only the prefab. Remove.
I
Remove.
delete it. Then I have to what? Insert new point.
Instantiate no new kind.
How copy paste or how?
Control D.
Control. Okay.
Select the kind and control D. Here you just move. So you got four. All are in the same position. You just move the position.
And I have to rename it or
No.
rename
You
it
don't
from.
need to rename. Why? Because we are comparing with the tag right now.
Okay.
Move. Guys, are you getting? Even if you're comparing with only one or two objects, okay, you can go with the name. Okay, that time you don't need a tag. But now I have to compare with many objects, which is going to appear during the runtime. So I have to compare with the tag. Okay. See, if the object, if you are comparing with the name, and you are going to use only one or two places, okay, you can go with the name because you can easily figure out the two places and you can check the name whether it is correct or not. But now I can't predict how many times I'm going to use my coin. On top of that, okay, I want to make the coin to be appear during the runtime. I have so many conditions. In that case, obviously, okay, that should be in a prefab. And even though if you are instantiating in the runtime, okay, the name won't come similar. Okay, it will be always coming with 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. And based on that, okay, I can give the conditions also. Here I can't give it the condition. So that is why I'm comparing with the tag. Okay. See now.
Hmm.
Yes. And even yes. This is a collision concept. Okay, we are just discussing all the concepts. Okay, later, okay, the same concept can be implemented in the game or in the VR or in the AR or in the gamification or in anywhere. So these are all concepts.
So I think I did something wrong.
What's it?
When I play, I cannot.
What is that? You are comparing
No,
with the tag.
it's only this is working. Others
That's what are you comparing with the tag or name?
I'm trying to keep on names.
Script. Go to the script like this.
Take.
Tag should be kind, right? Huh.
Coin and enemy.
Go there. Select all the coins. Yeah, tag is kind only. Yes.
This is coin.
Hmm.
So I just
No, no, no,
I
no.
know I just did this and this. This is correct. Take zero,
Hmm.
take one. Correct.
Huh. That is correct.
So why it has become rigid body or something?
No, you don't need a good body.
I think then why is it not the
Hmm.
why is it
Check the
colliding?
position. No?
Position means
That position you just check. All or nuisance. Select the player. Oh, now you check.
here.
Zero. Now you check. Controllers.
I think what have become rigid body. It is colliding. Only this thing. Only
Collide with that.
this only, huh?
How come it's only colliding then? One second.
Only with this object it is working. Only with this coin.
Choose coin. Tag.
This one is fine. Others. How is putting this on?
No, that is not an issue. Mhm.
No, this is a rigid body.
Hmm.
If this is a rigid body, I don't have to define this as a rigid body. It will take it.
Hmm.
When it collides, it will take it as
Hmm.
a rigid body. It's working.
See now, this enemy is in red color. Okay, and I don't want the red color. Okay, I want to make my enemy to look in a orange color. Okay, so you can just change in the material everywhere it will apply. But I want to apply a texture. I don't want this solid color. I want to apply a texture. So select this enemy, and this is my texture. Okay, you drag and drop. Now I don't have option to replace in other places. Everywhere I have to manually drag and drop. But this enemy is a prefab. Okay, so this is one template. So in this case, okay, I don't want to drag and drop in all the places. Okay, I can go to the inspector. After doing this particular change or the update, if you look at the override, okay, here okay, it is asking some new changes is occurred this previous template. Whether you want to apply these changes wherever okay you are using inside your game, including where you have kept it inside the project. Yes, then apply all. Immediately, okay, it will be updated over here as well as the original template.
So basically, it's like you're when you are applying a local license and you want to make it global. So there you override all. Override the global property.
I'm going to start.
Okay,
Mm.
Let it close. That is not an issue. It is a small update lag. Let
Okay.
it get update.
I'm not busy. Let's see issue.
What's that?
Maybe the battery issue.
Don't you go charge it? See,
This is a mobile charger.
student revenue phone వచ్చింది.
Okay.
Okay. phone అందరూ సిగ్నల్ పోయి ఏదో ఒక పక్క పోయి అదే కాన్సెప్ట్ ఎలా డూప్లికేట్ ఏదో ఒక పక్క పోయి
fine. So can we go ahead? Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
See, now, if you look at this point, see, we are learning the game development. Okay, in the game development, we supposed to show everything in the form of graphics, right? See, even though, see, in somewhere, okay, if you use cubes and spheres, okay, in some point it is okay. But throughout the game, okay, if we are keep on programming with the cubes and spheres, okay, then we can't feel that as a game development or game programming, right? So we have to show the visuals. So before going to add the visuals, okay, first you have to understand, okay, how the game development is working. Okay, one man can't develop the whole game until he learned all the tools and technologies. This is also kind of a software development. Okay, so someone will come up with the concept or the idea. Someone will read those concepts using his creativity. Okay, he will come up with the characters. Those guys will be considered as an artist or the concept artist or the modeler. You can name it as artist or modeler, 2D artist or 3D artist, okay, anything. And those guys will only give the models. They are not good in the logic. We have a programmer or a developer team. Okay, those guys will take those models and they will develop the program. They will add all the features. Okay, they will give the life to that object with the help of programming, and they will come up with the full-fledged application. Then that's supposed to be sent it to the testing team. Okay, we have a same like how we have a normal software testers in the other field. Similarly, okay, we have a game testers. Okay, so they have to play and identify the bugs. Then it will go to the publishers like that. Okay, here also we have to follow the protocols. So but now what we are learning in this particular workshop is based on the programming perspective. Even though like we have to finally come up with one small game or prototype, but we are focusing mainly on the programming part. Okay, now if I want to implement some concept, like obviously I need a graphics, some visuals. Okay, so if I'm not good at creating visuals, okay, how do I proceed with some prototype or some basic concepts? Okay, so in Unity we have multiple options. Okay, so you can download it in some other websites, or the Unity itself. Okay, they are giving one dedicated website called Unity Asset Store. Unity Asset Store. See here in the menu you can find window. Can you see this? Window, and here okay you can find Asset Store. Unity Asset Store. Okay, you just click this button. In your case, okay, it will ask you to open in the online mode. In your case, because I have already opened this website in many times, but in your case, you just click Asset Store, and now you will get option like search online. Next to that, okay, always open in browser from menu like that. Na? So you just enable the checkbox, always open in browser. Then you just click the search online option, that button. So the asset store website will open in the browser like this. How many of you have opened the Unity Asset Store? So to further to explore or to download, first you have to register. Register in the sense, okay, you have to log in using your Unity credentials. Okay, you can sign in. You have already signed in, so because of that only I can see my logo here. Similarly, okay, you guys can sign in, right? Have you guys signed in? Okay. After that, see here you will get plenty of supports like 3D, 2D, audio, tools, VFX templates. Whoever is wants to learn Unity 3D, he might be a designer and he can download the programming support, or he might be a programmer. Okay, he can download the art support like that. We have a different features in this website. So based on your requirement, okay, you can search it and you can download it. Couple of assets are free. Around some 40 to 45 percentage of the assets, models, packages are free. The remaining 55 percentage are the paid one. Why? Because this particular website is giving the option for the artist or the programmer to also to earn separately, not only through the game. If at all, if you are really good at programming or if you are really good at art, okay, you can create something good and you can sell it through this particular website. Okay, so now first I want to create an environment, kind of a city or this kind of environment. So I need a buildings. Okay, so I'm not good at creating buildings. For developing the building, for designing the building, I should know about Maya, 3ds Max, Blender, the texturing concepts and all. But I don't know that. So let me figure out whether I will get any house buildings inside this package or what. See, in the search bar, just type house, scroll down, you will get plenty of different house models. Can you see this? See, this is $150, $55, $100. See, including the interior, exterior, and all. Okay, it is $29. Okay, here it is $79. But for the time being, okay, we are just focusing on learning concepts. Okay, so we can filter this option. Like how you can find the price option, select the price option. Okay, and you can select the free filter. Immediately, only the free assets are listed in this page. Can you see this? Only the free assets are displaying in this place. Can you see this? In your page, okay, all the icons are in very bright. In my page, okay, these icons are blurred. Why? Because I have already purchased and used many times in my project. So that is the reason. Okay, these icons are in blur in color. But in your case, okay, all these icons are in very bright in color. Okay, that is the difference. Okay, don't get confused. Okay, why in your screen it is in bright and it is in dull? Because I have already purchased and used many times. Okay. So here, okay, you decide whichever you want, but let me decide that okay, I want to go with this particular house pack. This particular house pack. Why? Because see, even though we are getting for free of cost, okay, that doesn't mean that okay you can download the heavy assets. Okay, heavy assets in the sense, okay, see a small building, okay, that can be created with less number of verticals, less number of vertices and edges. Okay, see example, how do you differ whether it is a low poly or high poly means using four dots. Okay, you can create a square or a rectangle. Using 16 dots also, okay, you can create a square or rectangle. Yes or no? But which one is very feasible? Within the four dots, four edges. Okay, if you connect immediately, okay, the drawing time also very less. Even you, okay, you will get the shape of square or rectangle. Okay, why I need to draw 16 dots and I have to connect all the 16 dots to draw a square or a rectangle? It is unnecessary, right? So that is what the difference. That is how you have to figure out which is a low poly and high poly. The one who are very experienced in the art perspective or art role, okay, so they know how to create the good visuals with the less number of vertices and edges and faces. Those who are all beginners, okay, they will just create, they will waste so many things. If you're a proper cook, okay, you will use exactly what the food consumes, right? If you are trying at the first time, okay, you will waste lot of materials, no? Similarly like that only. So here, how to figure out whether it is a low poly or high poly? See here, the total file size is only 15 MB. I can get around some 10 houses. But if you look at some other package, there it might be a single house. If you look at the size, okay, that time it will be like 150 MB, 200 MB, 300 MB and all. Okay, this knowledge, okay, you should keep when you are downloading anything from the Unity Asset Store. Yes, are you getting? So now let me click open in Unity. For you guys, first you have to add this assets under your account. That is why, okay, I'm asking you to register at the beginning. Else, okay, only one ID can be used in all the machines. But that won't be useful, okay, because if at all, if you are using a different account, okay, all these details and all will be recorded under the specific account. So now click open in Unity and always allow assetstoreunity.com to open links of the type in the associated app. Then click open in Unity editor. So the navigation will get switched from the asset store page into the browser, this Unity page. Yes, see, like, click immediately. Okay, the navigation will be switched into the this Unity page like this. How many of you have seen the house pack like this? And for you guys, you will get the small download button. Can you see this? You just click the download. First you have to download. In my case, I have already downloaded many times, so that is why, okay, here it is showing re-download and import. But in your case, without downloading, you can't import it. So first you have to download. Once you import it, immediately you will get the import option also. Yes. Okay. Then you just click import, and it is asking whether you want to select only the specific objects or you want to use the whole package inside your Unity. That is what the meaning of popping up this window. I don't want to filter anything. I want to use all the house buildings. So just click import once again. Done. Then close this package manager. Close this package manager. Okay. Control S. Let me create a new scene. Control S. Save the scene. Let me rename this as experiment 6. I have created a new scene and I have saved it as an experiment 6. After that, where do I find the folder which I have downloaded? It is there under the project window. Can you see house pack? Can you see the house pack? You just open the house pack. Inside that, okay, you can find three different folders like models, prefabs. That is not perfabs, that is a prefab. Okay, then scene. Now we have already discussed about the concept of prefab, right? See, whoever is uploading or selling any assets or any packages in the Unity website, those guys are the Unity users and they should know the concept of prefab. Why? Because prefab is just a ready-made object. You don't need to do anything from the scratch. Okay, you can directly drag and drop from the project window to the scene window you will get all the features together. Okay, so that is why here, even though if it is just a house building, okay, but still we want to use in many times in our scene to decorate the or to create the city environment. So because of the prefab concept only, okay, we can achieve the optimization in the background. So that is why they have given all these house buildings in the form of prefabs. Can you see this? If you open the model also, okay, you can find the same house. Can you see this? But don't open inside the model. Okay, you figure out the prefab folder. Inside the prefab folder, okay, so they have given in the form of prefabs. Can you see the blue color cubes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different buildings. Now, game object, 3D object, plane. Why?
This thing
Because
is not showing in mine.
here, so just pull these two lines up.
Okay, house one.
Because see, I have selected the prefab, and if you couldn't able to see the house building model here means, okay, so what you have to do is you can find the two lines at the very bottom. Okay, you just pull this little up. You just pull this little up so you can find the building models. Okay, so now before going to place the house, first I need to create the ground or the floor. Okay, so what I have done is I have added a new plane like game object, 3D object, plane. So this plane, let me rename this as ground or floor. Let me rename this as a ground, and you just click the reset option. You just click the reset option. Please make sure when you are started adding the very first element like a ground or any other thing, that should be always placed in the position of 0 0 0, especially the ground. Okay, why? Because later based on this position only, okay, you have to place all the remaining objects like buildings and trees. Okay, don't keep your plane in somewhere like 20 80 and all, and later if you want to align everything, then if you are not following this procedure, then it will be very difficult for you to edit. So I have placed the ground, the position is 0 0 0, but the size is little small, so you can increase the size in the x-axis like 10, in the z-axis like 10. X-axis like 10 and z-axis like 10. Okay, after that, if you want to apply a color, I have created couple of materials previously. Okay, you can drag and drop this material. This is one way of applying the color to the ground. Else, in the Unity Asset Store, I have figured out the floor textures. I don't want the solid color floor. I want the tiles. Can you see this? This kind of a appearance to be come for my ground. So in that case, let me download this package as well. Okay, I have figured out the floor material pack in the Unity Asset Store. Then let me integrate, add into my projects, add to my assets, accept, open in Unity, download, import, and once again import. So I can see the floor materials pack. Have you guys imported floor materials pack? This is the pack. Floor materials pack version 1. Is it done? Now inside the floor material pack, if you open, you can find a texture. Can you see this? This is the texture, and they have a material. Can you see this? The texture, okay, they have converted as a material. The material, okay, we can apply into, because when you want to apply a color, okay, what is the procedure? You have to create a new material. In that material, okay, you have to choose a color, then you have to drag and drop that material. Yes, that is how we have done the material, right? We want to get any solid color, okay, what is the procedure? We have created a material. On top of the material, okay, you choose whichever the color you want, then you applied that color. Drag and drop. Now I want this kind of image. So don't just drag and drop the texture file like that. Again, okay, that will create a material only. So, but you just carefully open this. Okay, we have a materials. Now, if you want this kind of appearance, just drag and drop. Just drag and drop. Can you see this? Can you see this? Even though it is not looking good, I want the tiles to be little smaller. Okay, I want to exactly feel like how I'm feeling in this floor. Means select that floor in the inspector. Can you see the emission tiling? X-axis, let me change into 5. Y-axis, let me change into 5. So now can you see the difference? Yes or no? If you give 10, the whole image will be drawn 10 into 10 cross. Can you see this? If you want to use any other floor also, okay, you can use. But this is the way, okay, you have to apply a texture for the ground especially. You want a solid color, okay, go with the previous procedure. Else, select the material, the inspector. Can you see the emission? Here, okay, you have the concept for tiling. Previously, okay, the whole image was drawing like 1 cross 1 matrix. Now I want to draw the same image using the 10 cross 10 matrix. So that is why, okay, the detail is very good in the floor. Is it done? Okay, after that, now you close this package, and previously I have downloaded my house pack. You open the prefab folder, you drag the house like this. You have to drag and drop like this, and you can create the scene. Can you see this? So if at all, if you have any specific map, if you want to create the whole IIT, you just figure out couple of buildings. Okay, first, okay, you have to create a road. Okay, even we will get the road map also. Okay, you just place as it is a curve road or a straight road, all these things. Then you start placing the buildings. And here, okay, you guys can ask, see, our this IIT is not a flat area. Okay, it is ups and downs. So that time, okay, we can use the terrain concept, but terrain will lag little. Okay, it will lag. Okay, because if you want to get such kind of up and downs, okay, we can create a mesh like that, a small up and down, that we can duplicate it and you can cover it up. Because anyway, we are going in the proper road only. Okay, the roads won't go like this and all, because the roads are flat. Have you guys placed, and can you feel that you guys are creating an environment? This process only they are calling as a level design. Okay, the same game designer. Okay, so he has the idea about the city, how it look like, the forest, how it should come. Okay, everything. So you can go with this particular concept.
Hey, that's something. Why is it always facing backwards?
What's that?
I need to rotate it. Now it is showing like
Yes,
it
sir.
was when I
See,
did.
rotate. No? See, after, see, now,
I need to.
guys, listen. Okay, see, this particular building is looking towards to that side. Okay, if I want to face into my side means select that house in the inspector. The rotation is there, na? Rotation in the y-axis. Okay, you just give 180. The building is rotated. Can you see this? Similarly, you select this house, 180, 180.
So it will rotate
Yes.
clockwise, anti-clockwise.
What's it?
If I give 90 degrees, suppose,
Oh, it will
will it
only
be?
rotate once. See, if you want to rotate like this, then you have to rotate 180.
90, right? Up to 70. 70.
You select this house and rotate. This. Fine. So like that, you can download all the environment assets in the Unity assets. So okay, let me download one trees, at least one tree. Okay, so let me go over this realistic trees. Open in Unity. You can drag and drop the trees. Like that. So you can create an environment by using the Unity Asset Store, and you can ask whether Unity Asset Store is the only the website. No, it is not like that. Generally, like how we are searching the normal browser. Okay, there also okay, you can download some assets. Okay, but the 3D model should be either in the form of .fpx or .obj format. The
Dot,
extension
dot, isn't it?
fbx .obj,
FBX.
fbx, bx .obj, obj.
So can we import cat file here?
Oh,
Cat file. How?
CAD file we can
No.
do. We have to convert that as
SolidWorks cat file. No. Okay.
we have an online converter net. We can convert it.
Can you tell us on the sites?
Yeah, site to CAD model convert.
Cat or SolidWorks file.
So AutoCAD softwares will they have their own way to convert it to FPX. SolidWorks alone doesn't have a direct way to convert it to FPX, but you can convert it into OBJ. Then you can use it in 3D.
Okay, okay, okay.
So see OBJ to FX converter online.
All the AutoCAD softwares will have a FPX inbuilt.
Uh-huh. So these are the ones, right? These are the trees.
Yes, sir. Prefabs.
No, no, no preferred folder.
No, this is the prefab.
This
So
one,
you have to,
yes,
yeah, you have to understand that.
yes, 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 the blue color.
Let me add some color. See, I'm adding some car objects also open in Unity.
Which car you are adding?
The free ones. Arcade free racing. The first one. You can use it any. Like that, okay, you can add n number of. Okay. Guys, while placing the house, okay, just look out the distance between the floor and the house because some place you can get the gap. So this gap should not be there. You have to avoid this gap. Okay, so you have to avoid the gap, just adjusting the Y position of the building. Okay, you can slightly, you can find the gap, right? Can you see that 1 pixel gap? So make this as 16 exactly. Yes, perfect.
How do you know that this value will be 16?
I just randomly adjust.
Okay, randomly.
See, the previously it was 16.36.
So there is no automatic way.
Or if they are following the proper ratio, if a whole assets was created by only one person,
Hmm.
in the blender, okay, he will take the 0, 0, 0 is a universal coordinate for all the objects. Okay, based on that, okay, he would have created. Some of
Okay.
them, okay, they won't create it in that coordinate. Okay, so they will by default, okay, they would have slightly moved right side, and
Okay.
there they would have created the object. Okay, because of that issue only, the coordinates won't come properly in center of the objects.
Yes. Here there is mesh only or with
Mesh
colliders.
with colliders.
What is it? Mesh
See,
only?
if you want to find a, if you don't want to make the any people to go inside the car means, okay, you can go with the collider.
Okay.
No, you want to go inside and come means passing through means, okay, then
Pass through her.
if it is just a placeholder, then you can go with the without collider. No, no, I don't want any player to go inside the
So
collider. Pass through means,
collider means it will have this thing.
yeah. Previously we were at checking the collider for cube and sphere, na.
Yes.
If without the collider or without the rigid body, okay,
So
both the objects can pass through.
okay. So collider and this both are same or not?
No, different, different. Rigid body is a physics component.
Hmm.
Collider is a component, okay, that will create a layer on top of the object,
Okay.
an invisible layer. Try to explore the Unity Asset Store website and just design an environment like this. Even like, okay, you can change the cloud also. See the sky, which is always in blue in color, na?
Mm-hmm.
So that also, okay, you can download. Okay, so basically that concept is called a skybox. So just search skybox. Can you see a different skyboxes? Can you see this is blue color? When you are making any solar system or any project, so you can use a different skyboxes. Okay, see now this one pack which is free. So let me go with this all sky pack which has 10 different sky options. See, but did you see the size? 319.9
Oh.
MB. Okay. Okay, so let me add for the time being, but you guys can figure out something very lower,
No, these are different skies.
different skies.
All
Okay,
sky.
so let me add open and Unity and import.
These are all high, very high. So one project can make take a lot of space.
Yes.
So people do 3D designing of homes, no? Like this SketchUp app and also it can be done in Unity, but here file will be bigger or what?
No, sir, we can optimize the mesh counts. I was telling, no?
Mm-hmm.
So you can use a separate tool or software to customize or optimize those meshes. Else, if that guy is very good in modeling, then he will implement all the optimization. He can use the curves properly. See, I have downloaded the Skybox here. Can you see here? All sky free. Okay, this is the pack. If you open this, here, okay, we have a different clouds. Now, for applying or change the skybox, okay, we have to follow this procedure. Like how? Window, rendering, lighting, environment. The skybox material is the default skybox. Here, okay, you just click the search option. You can scroll up. If you want this sky, please change. If you want this sky, if you want this, yes, it looks. See, in all the 360 angle, okay, you will get wherever you go, you can feel this sky. We don't have any end for the pinpoint. Okay.
But can be very realistic view. This is looks like an animation.
Oh, this light is there.
Not like that. The houses in the trees.
You have to get high quality models for that. So right now we are using smaller size models now. So they are looking a little bit less realistic. If you are going for higher quality models, they will be more size heavy, and they will also mostly be paid assets only. Since they
Huh.
are putting a lot of efforts to make those models,
Huh.
they will make those as paid. If you get those models, it will look a lot more realistic.
Like a realistic model like this. Huh.
See,
Realistic models. That's one of the.
can you see this?
Okay. Well, this still no.
So, so based on the texture.
Section. Okay.
So you can take the whole image and you can give it to the modeler. Like I want the house or the room like with this kind of texture. So he will create like
So can we send something like can we scan this whole room and can we make a something like this is possible?
அவர் என்ன சாஃப்ட்வேர் யூஸ் பண்ணுறாரு அந்த ஆக்சுவலி?
I don't
Like
know.
using 360-degree camera, suppose.
தட் இஸ் வீடியோஸ். அவர் இன்னொன்று மனு என்ன சொல்லலையா? கேட்கணும். We will get back to it because one of the we are checking, we are helping on project. They are using some paid software.
So where I have to select that environment then?
Change sky material. Just scroll down in this page. Scroll slowly.
So all the important ones will be here.
Yes. This is a big package. So you can use this kind of space and textures.
And how do we change this camera angle? Like what? We move?
Yes, sir, you can move.
Okay,
See,
okay. In this for the same window also.
don't forget to save the scene. Save the scene. In this case, you expand the size of the ground also. Floor. Select that floor. You expand that x-axis 20, z-axis 20. So can we start for
Yes.
the lunch? Yeah. Any doubts? So we are breaking for the lunch. So we can join back by 2:30, I guess. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Any doubts?
No, sir.